which I think is exciting, and I think our guys responded tonight like we want them to, and looking forward to a good week of preparation. Questions?
Coach, I think you mentioned on Tiger Talk that Darius Slayton and Ryan Davis had good camps. Could you just talk a little bit more about what they've done well to impress you?
Yeah, they've just made plays, really, to be honest with you, contested catches, and both those guys did a great job, and a lot of our guys did. I thought that group as a unit grew up, but Darius and Ryan both stood out at times, and I think they're in a good position as we head into this week.
We haven't talked about him much, Chip, other than early on in camp, just the fact that Kyle returned. But what have you seen from Kyle Davis now? It's been basically a month of preseason practice, so where does he stand in the mix for play?
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen a guy that's hungry, a guy that's excited to be there, and he's a really good competitor. Obviously, he's very talented for sure, and I think he's done a nice job of transitioning back into football mode. And of course, camp's pretty long, so I think now he feels like he's back in the groove and got himself back in good shape, and looking for big things out of him.
Sure sound like Sal had a good start to camp. How's he been these last, let's say, couple weeks?
Yeah, he's done well. He's our tight end that's really versatile for us, can line up in 3 different spots, and he won't always do that, but that's kind of our thought. And I like the progress he's made. He's a guy that's got really good ball skills and runs good routes, and I think in junior college they did a lot of that with him, so very natural at that, and I think he's improved in his blocking from attached and also playing in the backfield, so I think he's had a really good camp.
Can you talk about the offensive line and building some chemistry with the group?
Yeah, that group is, I think they're getting better, continuing to gel. I think that's important as you get ready to play games. Those guys that are used to working with each other, and communication and combination and so forth. But I like the progress they're making. I think that group, those 7 or 8 guys that we mentioned last time, I think those guys are going to form a really good unit for us.
Chip, can you talk about maybe this week more than any is just more of a tinkering week and just kind of seeing, quite frankly, what will work, what may not, and what you have to do to get into week 2 and week 3 and figure out a plan that'll work?
Well, I think for us, I think you do that every week. You focus on our team and what we're trying to be good at and what our identity is, and I think we've done a nice job during camp of identifying where our strengths are and how we can best utilize those no matter who we're playing. I know Georgia Southern is a team with a lot of tradition, and got a lot of respect for them. I know a lot of those coaches on that staff, and we're going to have to be ready to go. At the same time, we're really focused on ourselves and trying to improve each day this week that we get the opportunity, and so we can play our best on Saturday. I think that's the most important thing.
So how different is it offensively when you start to narrow the focus down for a game plan, when you kind of pick and choose things that you want to do?
Yeah, it's a lot different. I mean, because you go against your own defense, there's certain things that aren't going to be good, but there's certain things that you want to run and rep no matter what. And obviously, I think it's a situation where we're trying to narrow things down and game plan, which means there's less plays, less volume, and you're looking for more execution than you are volume and number of plays. And I think the key is for us early on, this week is to figure out, okay, what do we want to take in, and what do we really have time to rep? Because there's a lot of really good plays out there, but you only get so many reps in practice. And I think every coordinator in the country probably fights that battle of deciding, okay, what is really, there's 10 things here I like. We really can only rep 6 or 7 of these things, and what to throw out, what to keep in. But I like where we're at, and I think we're in a good spot, and I think we know a lot about our team, which is important when you're developing a game plan.
We've heard coordinators talk to quarterbacks and go, okay, what do you like? What do you like in this situation? How much interaction will you and Jared have about things that he likes heading into a week?
Yeah, definitely, a lot. I mean, the most important thing is he knows where to go with the ball in every situation, versus every look we might see. And I think it's extremely important. There's a lot of times I think coaching quarterbacks, you draw up a play and you draw up a concept and you go, this is really good against this coverage, and for whatever reason he doesn't feel comfortable with it. And maybe it's because he hadn't done it a lot, or maybe it's because his arm talent, or whatever the case may be. Each quarterback's different, but I think it's important as a coordinator, to run what the guy feels really good at or fits.
You know you're going to be on the sideline this year. Do you prefer being on the sideline and be able to talk to your players face to face?
I do like that. I think that's really important, especially when you got you're on the sideline and you can look that guy in the eye. You got the opportunity to see how he's reacting to things. I think that's a huge advantage to be able to do that. And I've done it both ways, so I'm fairly comfortable with either way. Because the reason is every staff is different. Every staff the makeup is different. So I think, for us, I think it's the best scenario for me to be there and be able to communicate with those quarterbacks on the sideline and really be able to run the offense as a unit, and all the things that we like to do.
Coach
Yeah,
Malzahn,
but having being here, which is a place you wanted to be.
Yep.
How special is it going into now you're going to be out there on that field at that game?
Yeah, it's very special. I mean, my first college football game I ever saw was in Jordan-Hare, and just the opportunity to be at a great place and growing up in this state, it's pretty special. And the big thing for me is I just want to focus on what my job is and not get caught up in all that. But it's definitely a great experience, and I'm looking forward to it.
How do you divide up the reps and now that you get game week with the quarterback?
Yeah, Jared gets all the reps, with the ones. I mean, you have to have, other scenarios can come up, so you got to be prepared for that. But we like our starter to get the majority of all the reps with the
And how
with the
about
ones.
the league? How much does he get with the two?
Yeah, he's still getting reps. Sean, luckily for Sean, he's played a lot, so a lot of this, he's a veteran in that respect, so he gets some reps as well. But and then we're still continuing to rep Malik too. So.
what's your philosophy with just scripting plays when you start out a game? Some coaches go 7, 9, or 11. What do you kind of do to kind of help give some confidence to your guys going in?
Yeah, I think you like to script plays that you feel like we can execute, and that are fairly simple, that our guys have a lot of confidence in. I think that's important. I think anybody does that, but I think each week that depends how many plays it is. It varies, and definitely you want to snap the ones that you think give you the best opportunity to get your guys off to a good start. I think that's the most important thing.
How much would Herb Hand help you with kind of maybe being your eyes in the sky in the press box?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, Herb's valuable. He's been up there a lot over his career. He's very, very good at that. He's very good at seeing the box and what's going on in the run game. And Herb's a smart guy that definitely is a guy you want, that you can rely on to get information.
Chip, we've heard both you and Gus talk about the balance and taking what the defense gives you and all that, but you've also spoken about identity. How much about establishing identity early on especially is, I understand you don't want to run against a loaded box of 8, 9 plus guys and all that, but how much of it, about establishing identity, comes down to just the offense is dictating how this game is going to be played, and we are going to do this, and then, no matter what they're throwing at us, this is what we are going to do.
Yeah, I think there's always some of that. I think there's always, this is who we are, we're going to do this. But, our goal is to give our guys the best opportunity based on the defense we're seeing. And you hope in your system you have that built in. There's definitely times, though, like you said, you're going to want to just, hey, here it comes, here's what we're doing, whether it's throwing it or running it. But, our goal is to put our players in the best situation they can be in, give them the best opportunity, and then obviously we've got to execute it to make that happen.
Chip, what have you seen out of Jared the last week or so, and how are his teammates responding to him being the starter or the leader of the team?
Yeah, I mean, Jared's been the same guy to me. I mean, he's prepared the same. His attitude, his energy's been the same. He hasn't, all of a sudden, when we named him the starter, he didn't try to reinvent himself. I think that's important, be who you are. I think I've always felt that way, no matter what position you're in. Don't try to be if you try to be somebody you're not, then I think people see that, and they, I think good leaders they're going to be who they are. And I think Jared's done a really good job of handling, everything that's gone with that, and looking forward to him playing well this weekend.
Chip, adding on to James' question, you came out throwing the ball, wanting to establish more of a passing attack with some in the spring game. How important is it to throw the ball, really in every situation, just to build chemistry and confidence for those guys heading into the year?
Yeah, and I think we've done that, though, in spring and fall camp. At the end of the day, it's really just to execute our plays, throwing and running, and I don't really have an emphasis, hey, we're going to come out and throw the ball or anything like that. It's just we want to have a balanced attack, and, when you get in this world of playing real games, it's a little different than 8A games, obviously, so we're excited about, the opportunity on Saturday, and we'll just kind of see how it plays out.
So do you have any personal traditions you do on a Friday night or a Saturday morning? Do you maybe draw up your own cards or something like that? And just...
No, not really. I'm probably pretty boring on that. But, we're in the hotel on Friday night, so just kind of going over your game plan and your call sheet and trying to predict in every scenario kind of what could come up and what could happen. Sometimes, though, when you get to Saturday, I mean, it hay's in the barn, so to speak. You
Yeah.
just let your guys get out there and play. Let them be loose and play fast and you know, try not to stress them out. I think that's important, you know, especially at quarterback. You want that guy to feel like, all right, you got all the answers, man. Play with confidence. Let's go have some fun. And that's kind of been my approach with it.
Does he have the option, does Jared have the option to check out of what he sees as a bad play?
You know, sometimes it depends. Not all the time, no, but sometimes. And I think you know, you try to call plays that maybe you don't have to check out of, but there'll be times I'm sure he'll have to do that.
Jim, I apologize because you weren't here
Yeah.
previous years, but Carryon has been the guy for a wildcat quarterback type option player. Has that been ditched in your system, or is there
no,
other guys that you feel like can actually do that role as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got multiple guys that can do that. You know, whether or not we do it, you know, first game or so or not, I don't know. But definitely, I think, you know, I know Carryon's done that and been successful at it, but I think we got multiple guys that can do it.
When you've looked at these guys, Chip, what have you seen from Georgia Southern? Because their top 2 tacklers are both gone, but their third guy is a safety with 70-some-odd tackles. And just what have you seen from this defense?
Yeah, I see a team that plays really hard. I told you earlier, they got a lot of tradition. They're really proud, and they're gonna, you know, they're not intimidated to come to an SEC school. They've proven that, and over there in their time. So I know their coach I know him pretty well. He does a great job. He's a good young coach, and I think he'll have his guys prepared. And we definitely need to come ready to play, because this team we're playing is very capable, and we need to make sure that we take care of ourselves this week and be ready.
Chip, with Darius and Nate McMyers sort of playing the same position, could they still be on the field together at the same time?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different scenarios depending on what personnel group's in. Yeah, there's multiple ways to get different guys on the field.
Where's Kyle lined up most? Is he mostly at an interior spot, or?
He's been both. I mean, I would say that you know, I'd say he's been inside and outside. Just depends.
How important is that? Because letting guys stay on the field, keep the tempo without having to substitute,
Yeah.
and the wide receiver, how big is that?
Well, if you're in a rhythm, it's definitely good to be able to just go and not change personnel as much. But at the same time, you know, sometimes changing personnel helps you get into a better look. So I think we'll just see how the game plays out. And obviously, if we get the opportunity to play fast, we definitely want to do that.